Add-on Solutions. Add-on Desire.
Hello viewers, welcome to Adot Solutions Daily News Analysis session. I am Lokesh Penugonda. This session is designed while keeping in mind the needs of aspirants preparing for banking, SSC and such other examination. So our first article is Gregarious Bamboo Flowering in Wayanad. So where is this Wayanad? Wayanad is a part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, and Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, which is located in the Western Ghats and the Nilgiri Hills of South India, is declared as a World Heritage Site by the UNESCO in 2012. So you should note that this Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve is declared as a World Heritage Site by the UNESCO way back in the 2012. It is the largest protected forest area in India. It is spreading across states such as Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala. Also, this includes Aralam, Madumulai, Mukkurthi, Nagarhole, Bandipur, Silent Valley National Parks, as well as Wayanad, Karimpuza, Satyamangalam Wildlife Sanctuaries. So the question can be like, which of the following are part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve? And it will give various names of national parks or wildlife sanctuaries, and you have to select one of them. So you need to understand and you need to remember the various national parks and wildlife sanctuaries which are in the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Next, Mr. Modi and Gotabaya speak ahead of Geneva vote. We'll not go in detail of this article. We'll just see in brief what is this article talking about. Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, has spoken to President of Sri Lanka. President of Sri Lanka's name is Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Also, his brother, who is currently the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, his name is Mahinda Rajapaksa. So there are two brothers who are ruling the Sri Lanka. One is a president and one as Prime Minister. And recently, the President of Sri Lanka spoke with Prime Minister Modi regarding the Geneva vote. What is this Geneva vote? Geneva is the headquarters of UN Human Rights Commission. So what is this UN Human Rights Commission? UN Human Rights Commission is a United Nations body. Its mission is to protect and promote human rights around the world. So what happened was, there was a civil war in the Sri Lanka in the last 2-3 decades, and during this civil war, there are instances and there are allegations that the Sri Lankan army has used more force than required, and it has killed many innocent people. And there was a vote in the UN Human Rights Council regarding whether the Sri Lankan government or the Sri Lankan army has undertaken any mass violations of human rights. And this vote will be happening soon. So, the UN Human Rights Commission, it's headquartered at the Geneva of the Switzerland, and there is a vote going on regarding the Sri Lankan issue. The UNHRC was founded in 2006, and India is currently a member of this commission. So, there are total 47 members for this commission, and these members are elected based on the region basis. India, which became a member in 2019, will have its term ended on 2021 December 31st. That is, for a period of 3 years, the member countries are elected. Next, this article is talking about Ayushman Bharat campaign. So what is this campaign? Aapke Dwar Ayushman. So this is the campaign Aapke Dwar Ayushman. This campaign is being launched by National Health Authority. So National Health Authority is launching and is undergoing the campaign of Aapka Dwar Ayushman. And what does this campaign do? It will record and it will verify the beneficiaries of Ayushman Bharat. And before going to the verification process, we need to understand regarding the Ayushman Bharat. So Ayushman Bharat was initially launched in 2018. So what are the components of Ayushman Bharat? First is Health and Wellness Center. That is, it will upgrade the primary healthcare centers of the government as health and wellness centers. This is one component. Second, provision of insurance to the eligible families. So what happens is, due to lack of insurance to a large population of the country, whenever there exists a health emergency in the family, they have to either borrow from others or they have to go to normal clinics, or does not even go in some cases if they don't have money. So to handle this, to prevent the healthcare problems, government has launched Ayushman Bharat, and the second component of Ayushman Bharat is called as Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Under this component, eligible families which are generally poor will get health insurance support for a year. That is, for every year they get a maximum coverage of 5 lakh. This is per family per year. That is, even if the family has 10 people, then the insurance will be 5 lakh a year. Also, you should note that this amount cannot be transferred to the next year. That is, let's say in 2020, this family of 10 did not use much of the services and they used only 50,000 of the insurance support. In 2022, the remaining 4,50,000 cannot be transferred. That is, every year it will completely, you have to use it or it will leave that amount. Next, what would happen is, the government and private health infrastructure and centers, they have to enroll in under this program. And if the hospital is successfully enrolled, when a patient comes with a insurance of PM Jan Arogya Yojana, the hospitals will provide generally cashless treatment, and whatever the amount which have to be originally charged to these patients, this amount will be provided by the government in future. So let's see in detail. The scheme guarantees eligible families for inpatient expenses of up to 5 lakh per year in all government and empaneled private hospitals all over the India. The National Health Authority, that is the NHA, is responsible for implementing this flagship scheme. So this NHA, or the National Health Agency, National Health Authority, will be the implementing agency of this scheme. And you have seen here that NHA is undergoing and launching a campaign to register and verify the beneficiaries. Next, in this article, Chief Economic Advisor is saying that we should focus on growth more than inflation. First, who is the present Chief Economic Advisor? He is Krishnamurthy Subramanian. So let's look into the post of Chief Economic Advisor. Chief Economic Advisor is a post in the Government of India, and it is equivalent to the Secretary to the Government of India. Next, Chief Economic Advisor is the ex officio cadre controlling authority. That is, he is the ex officio chairman of Indian Economic Services. Next, he is the head of the economic division of the Department of Economic Affairs, which is under the Ministry of Finance. So let's say there can be a question, which can ask who is the head of Indian Economic Services, and the answers can be cabinet secretary and such other examples they will give in the options, and you have to choose the chief economic advisor as the correct one. And with this, the session is ended. Thank you.
Add-on solutions. Add-on desires.